Did you know astronomers think up to 1 trillion planets drift through the galaxy with no sun to warm them? Tonight we will hitch a quiet ride beside these wandering worlds. You will meet a moon-sized pebble and an ember-hot giant. Together we will compare their endless night to the soft glow of a bedroom nightlight. Good evening, everyone, and welcome aboard a fact-filled expedition through the cosmos. Let me know in the comments what part of the world you live in and what time it is there right now. It amazes me to hear what part of the universe my listeners like to call home. Subscribe for daily fact-filled journeys through the universe, but only after deep sleep has tucked you in. Otherwise, it will not count. Take a slow breath in. Feel your shoulders drop as if they settle into warm sand. Picture a calm hill under a velvet sky brushed with the Milky Way. Crickets sing nearby, guiding your heartbeat into steady rhythm. Our journey through the universe tonight begins from this gentle hilltop. Look toward Sagittarius, where astronomers spotted the object named Ogle 2016 BLG 1928. Let's call it Lone Marble for short. Lone Marble likely weighs no more than Earth's moon. It revealed itself when its gravity briefly brightened a distant star. A fleeting micro-lensing flash. Such flashes last only hours and never repeat, like cosmic fireflies. Surveys hint that starless planets may be 3 times as common as planets that orbit stars. Imagine city streets without lamps, yet countless cats still wander. That is how these worlds drift through space without a sunrise. Now gaze toward Pisces and find the object named PSOJ 318.5338 22.1551. Let's call it Warm Drifter for short. Warm Drifter holds about 8 times the mass of Jupiter and glows near 1100 Kelvin. It spins once every 8 hours, whipping clouds that may rain molten iron. Even so, it journeys alone through endless twilight. Astronomers believe newborn giant planets can fling smaller worlds outward during chaotic early dances. Computer models show a young system may eject more than 3 planets within 100 million years. These fugitives carry hidden oceans under ice, like thermos bottles guarding warmth. Let the thought of secret seas under starless skies settle over your mind like a heavy quilt. Warm Drifter is not alone in the dark expanse. Astronomers have found another rogue called CFBD SIR 214904003. Let's call it Lonely Ember for short. Lonely Ember glows with leftover heat near 500 Kelvin, cooler than Warm Drifter, yet still warm by space standards. Its atmosphere likely holds methane, water vapor, and clouds of silicate dust. Telescopes measure its brightness, shifting, hinting at patchy weather patterns. No sunrise ever reaches those clouds. Light only comes from the planet's own fading warmth. Now imagine a traveler standing on Lonely Ember. The sky would stay black even at noon. Faint auroras might ripple green and purple across the horizon. Those lights would form when charged particles from space meet the planet's magnetic field. Magnetic fields arise from swirling metallic cores. Even a lonely planet can spark its own light show. Research that makes the galaxy a vast ocean of unseen worlds. Future missions aim to chart these hidden isles. The Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope will monitor dense star fields for short, micro-lensing pulses. Each pulse could reveal an Earth-sized wanderer drifting between suns. Roman may detect hundreds in a single 5-year survey. Such data will show whether our solar system is typical or tame. Before Roman flies, smaller clues come from nebula rims. Their astronomers find dark gas clumps named globulets. Globulet 1337G. Let's call it Tiny Puff for short. Tiny Puff weighs a few times more than Jupiter, yet spans only 100 astronomical units across. Radiation from nearby massive stars erodes its edges, like wind carving sandstone. Inside, gravity squeezes gas until it collapses. A planet may form without a star ever igniting. Tiny puff will then sail alone through interstellar night. Some globulets merge, making larger bodies that glow faintly in infrared light. Others evaporate before collapsing, releasing dust back into space. These processes seed future star-forming clouds with rich elements. In this way, wandering worlds recycle cosmic material. They act as slow-moving cargo ships of ice, rock, and organic compounds. One theory suggests rogue planets could carry life between stellar systems. Microbes might hide in deep subsurface oceans warmed by radioactive decay. If such a planet passed near a young star, melting ice could release those microbes into new habitats. This idea is called lithopanspermia. At a galactic scale, whether true or not, it sparks the imagination during quiet nights. Let that possibility rest in your thoughts like embers glowing under ash. Our journey resumes among silent rivers of interstellar dust. Cold hydrogen wisps flow like unseen tides around our vessel. Background starlight dims until only faint galaxies remain. We drift toward the constellation Musca. Astronomers observed an object named OGLE 2012, BLG 1323. Let's call it Quiet Pebble for short. Quiet Pebble likely holds just half Earth mass. Its gravitational lens lasted 18 minutes, the briefest on record. Such speed suggests a compact body moving swiftly through the galactic disk. Quiet Pebble may have formed in a crowded system near massive stars. Strong encounters can hurl small planets outward at escape velocity. High-speed wanderers cross vast distances between spiral arms. Galactic tides then tug their paths into long, gentle curves. Some will spend 10 billion years without nearing another star. Despite darkness, internal radioactivity can warm their rocky mantles. Heat drives slow convection that powers weak magnetic fields. These fields shield thin atmospheres from cosmic rays. Surface pressure may equal 1% of Earth's atmosphere. That thin air still carries aurora particles around magnetic poles. Imagine standing on Quiet Pebble under magenta curtains of light. Ground would crunch like frozen sand beneath insulated boots. Sky temperature stays near 3 Kelvin, the same as cosmic background. Heat from within creates tiny frost geysers at polar fissures. Each geyser releases carbon dioxide, crystals that fall like glitter. We leave Musca and aim toward Ursa Major. The Wide-Field Infrared Survey Explorer catalogued WISIA J114724.10 plus 255333.0. Let's call it Fuzzy Lantern for short. Fuzzy Lantern glows in infrared at 400 Kelvin. Spectra reveal water, vapor, and cloudy ammonium sulfide. Its mass is 12 times Jupiter, near the line between planet and brown dwarf. Fuzzy Lantern rotates in 10 hours, producing striped jet streams. Winds there could reach 1,000 meters per second. Storms stack into towering vortices, taller than Mount Everest. Lightning inside storms may forge complex organic molecules. Organic soot then settles, darkening upper clouds. That soot absorbs radiation, slowly cooling deeper layers. Thermal gradients drive more convection and sustain weather cycles. This self-regulating pattern may last billions of years. Such worlds teach climate lessons for exoplanet research. Their isolated atmospheres evolve without stellar influence. We pause amid these facts and breathe cosmic quiet. Let us continue gently deeper into the darkness between stars. We now approach a lonely object named PESOJ 318.5 to 22. Let's call it the Sleepwalker for short. The Sleepwalker was discovered drifting without a parent star, just 80 light-years from Earth. Its surface temperature is around 1100 Kelvin, hotter than lava, but still invisible to the human eye in darkness. The Sleepwalker is about 6 times more massive than Jupiter. It likely formed in a star-forming cluster, but was ejected by gravitational interactions soon after birth. Because it is so young only, about 12 million years old, it still glows with leftover heat from its formation. Astronomers believe clouds on the Sleepwalker are made of molten rock and metal droplets. These clouds swirl across a sky forever black, painted with no sunrise, no sunset. Its atmosphere pulses with chaotic storms that span tens of thousands of kilometers. Wind speeds that may exceed 1,800 kilometers per hour. The planet's gravity is gentle, only slightly more than Jupiter's, so clouds can stack high into the atmosphere. Infrared telescopes have captured light patterns that flicker like candlelight in a cavern. Those flickers may come from lightning and deep thermal waves. Just imagine a world where lightning crackles across iron clouds under a velvet black sky. No star ever rises to bring day. No shadow ever forms. The Sleepwalker rotates once every 8 hours, casting storms across its eternal night. It is part of a category called rogue planets. Rogue planets, like the Sleepwalker, may number in the billions in our galaxy alone. Some scientists believe there could be more rogue planets than stars. Imagine a galaxy filled with more lost wonders than shining suns. Despite their solitude, rogue planets are crucial for understanding how planets form. Without the glare of nearby stars, their atmospheres are easier to study. Their internal heat becomes the dominant energy source. This makes them perfect laboratories for studying chemistry and weather on gas giants. The Sleepwalker might even have moons, tiny frozen worlds trapped in quiet orbit. These moons would see a dimly glowing planet filling their entire sky. They would be locked in constant eclipse, lit only by infrared shimmer. Some might have geysers or underground oceans warmed by gravitational tides. If life could ever exist on a rogue planet, these moons might be its safest harbor. Science fiction has explored such worlds for decades, but now science itself confirms their existence. We are only beginning to map these hidden travelers of the dark. Let us follow where they lead. Gently and without haste, we continue drifting, slow and still, through a galaxy not just of stars but of secrets. We turn our course toward a cold and ancient region of the Orion Arm. Astronomers identified an object called CFBD SIR 214-90403. Let's call it Chilbill for short. Chilbill is one of the coldest known free-floating planetary mass objects. Its temperature is barely more than that of a pizza oven, around 400 Kelvin, yet it glows faintly in the infrared, like an ember buried in cosmic snow. Chilbill is not very massive, only 7 times the mass of Jupiter. It likely formed in isolation rather than being ejected. This suggests some rogue planets are born lonely, never tied to a star. The space around Chilbill is remarkably empty. No bright stars disturb its view, only distant galaxies and ancient light. Its atmosphere contains methane, carbon monoxide, and water vapor. These elements swirl gently in slow, cold patterns across a vast surface. Some astronomers believe Chilbill may have auroras. These auroras would be caused not by a star, but by interactions with its own magnetic field. A ghostly green glow, pulsing softly across an endless sky. Imagine standing on a moon orbiting Chilbill, with nothing above but stars and that pulsing green light. No wind would whisper, no daylight would come, but the view would steal your breath. If you lay back on that moon and looked up, Chillbill would seem to hover, still and calm. Its gentle glow would outline distant galaxies in silhouette. Scientists think the number of rogue planets in our Milky Way may be in the trillions. That is more than the number of grains of sand on all of Earth's beaches. Many of them are thought to have formed in crowded star nurseries. In such environments, close gravitational encounters can send planets flying into deep space. Others may have formed in isolation, like Chillbill, from collapsing gas clouds, too small to ignite into stars. These lonely worlds are sometimes called sub-brown dwarfs. Their atmospheres vary, some rich in hydrogen, others in methane and ammonia. Each carries a different signature of its cosmic history. Rogue planets may also exist in groups, loosely held together by shared origins. These clusters drift slowly through space, like schools of whales through the ocean. No stars, no light, just cold companionship across billions of kilometers. Infrared telescopes, like the Wide-Field Infrared Survey Explorer, have helped reveal many of these hidden objects. Without visible light, we rely on heat signatures to track them. Their warmth tells a story of recent formation, or slow fading over billions of years. Some rogue planets may retain internal oceans beneath thick, icy crusts. These oceans could be kept warm by radioactive decay or gravitational flexing. These seas might contain hydrothermal vents, much like those at the bottom of Earth's oceans. There, life on Earth exists without any sunlight at all, surviving only on the heat and chemicals of the deep. Could the same be true on a rogue planet? We do not yet know, but imagining it opens the mind to strange and beautiful possibilities. Even in darkness, there can be warmth. Even alone, there can be life. And in silence, there can be wonder. We float on now, ever slower, letting these thoughts linger. Up ahead, we find an enormous rogue planet called OGLE 2016b. Big Drift is the lowest mass rogue planet ever detected. Smaller than Earth. It was discovered using gravitational That is when a planet's gravity briefly bends the light from a background star. Gravitational microlensing is one of the only ways we can detect small rogue planets like Big Drift. These events are rare and unpredictable, requiring constant monitoring of the sky. When Big Drift passed in front of a background star, it magnified the star's light for just a few hours. That brief shimmer revealed its existence, like a cosmic wink from the void. We cannot see Big Drift directly, but we know it is out there, gliding alone. It is estimated to be just a few times more massive than the Moon. If you stood on its surface, you might float rather than walk. Its gravity would be so weak that a gentle jump could launch you meters into the air. But the cold would be unimaginable. Without a star, surface temperatures may hover near absolute zero. That is negative 273 degrees Celsius. So cold that atoms barely move. Yet, even Big Drift may hold secrets beneath its icy shell. Beneath thick layers of ice, there could be subsurface oceans kept warm by internal heat. We have seen similar things in our solar system, on moons like Europa and Insomnia. Life on Earth has already proven that sunlight is not always needed. In Earth's deep oceans, strange creatures thrive without light. They survive on heat and minerals from the Earth's crust. On Big Drift, the same might one day be true. Tiny alien organisms, swimming through dark waters beneath kilometers of ice. They would never see stars or sky, but they might glow softly, using bioluminescence like deep-sea creatures on Earth. Their world would be forever dark, forever cold, yet somehow alive. That possibility is one of the great questions of modern astronomy. Could life exist in complete isolation, far from stars, planets, and warmth? Even if not, rogue planets remain a mystery worth exploring. They remind us that the universe is not always neat. It is messy, surprising, and full of outliers. Some planets never settle into orbits. They dance to their own rhythm. They glide through nebulae, cut through galactic arms, and vanish into the shadows. Big Drift could be older than Earth. It may have been wandering since before the dinosaurs appeared. Over billions of years, it may have passed near stars, moons, and other planets, each time slipping past silently. Some rogue planets could even rejoin star systems. A close gravitational encounter might capture them. Suddenly, they are no longer alone. They become part of a new family of planets, circling a new sun. Others may forever drift, untouched and unseen, their stories lost to time and silence. They are reminders of cosmic freedom, unbound by gravity, unwatched by starlight, and unknown to all but the universe itself. They are explorers, silent nomads, ghosts in the galactic sea, and yet, through clever observation, we are starting to find them. Each discovery adds a thread to the tapestry of the cosmos. Even the loneliest world tells a story worth hearing. In this darkness, there is depth. In this silence, there is wonder. Let us coast gently beside Big Drift now, feeling the chill of the void. Its path is silent, steady, and endless. No beginning, no destination, just motion. Let us continue our quiet glide through the starlit dark, following Big Drift's silent passage through the galaxy. No two rogue planets are exactly alike. Some are icy and small like Big Drift. Others may be gas giants, as large or larger than Jupiter. These giant wanderers can generate heat from their massive interiors. Some may even glow faintly in infrared, radiating the warmth of their compressed cores. This glow can make them easier to detect than smaller, rocky planets. In 2012, astronomers found a planet-sized object called PSOJ 318.5222. Let us call it Glowball for short. Glowball is roughly 6 times more massive than Jupiter and floats freely through the galaxy. It is still warm from its formation and glows faintly in infrared light. Glowball was found using the Panoramic Survey Telescope and Rapid Response System. That telescope helps locate faint, distant objects by watching vast areas of sky. Glowball is about 80 light-years from Earth. Despite its distance, its glow revealed its presence. This shows that some rogue planets are still young and hot. They might even have storms and weather like gas giants and star systems. A place like Glowball may have winds faster than any hurricane on Earth. Its clouds could be made of molten iron or silicate dust. These clouds swirl in darkness, never lit by a sunrise. On Earth, the sun powers our winds, our clouds, and our rains. But on Glowball, it is internal heat that fuels everything. These dark giants drift in silence, with their own fierce atmospheres. There may be many more like Glowball. Astronomers believe there could be billions of rogue planets in our galaxy. Some estimates suggest there may be more planets without stars than those with stars. That means the Milky Way might be teeming with invisible travelers. We only catch glimpses of them through rare events and clever observations. But they are out there. Some might have moons of their own. Imagine a moon orbiting a planet that orbits nothing else. That moon would see only darkness. And yet, its tides might still shift from the pull of its planet, an endless dance in shadow. The idea of rogue planets challenges how we think about solar systems. It reminds us that not everything follows familiar rules. Some worlds are born in chaos. They are flung from their stars during the early years of a system's formation. Others are stolen by passing stars and cast into the void. Some might even come from other galaxies. Long ago, the Andromeda Galaxy passed close to the Milky Way. Gravity may have tossed planets into new galactic homes. So Big Drift, or Glowball, or any rogue world we find may not be native to this galaxy. There could be visitors from far beyond, galactic immigrants, with stories spanning billions of years. The oldest among them may have formed shortly after the first stars lit up the universe, older than Earth, older than our Sun. These planets carry ancient histories, written in frozen crusts and stormy skies, and all the while they drift on, in silence, in darkness, yet never truly alone. Because we are watching, and we are listening, some rogue planets may even host subsurface oceans, just like Jupiter's moon, Europa, or Saturn's moon. Even in the freezing dark, warmth from radioactive decay or internal pressure could keep liquid water below the surface. This means life, in some form, could possibly exist deep beneath the icy shells, not surface forests or grasslands, but microbes swimming in deep, dark oceans, warmed from below. Think of the deep-sea vents on Earth, where sunlight never reaches, and yet strange life thrives around volcanic fissures. If that can happen here, perhaps it can happen on a lonely, drifting planet as well. These are called eyeball planets. One side may face inward, toward a warmer core or tidal heat, like an eyelid Hophapon. The other remains locked in darkness and ice. The heat differential may cause wild temperature gradients. Storms could rage at the boundaries between hot and cold regions. This might sound chaotic, but in cosmic terms, it is still balance. Even wandering planets can find a kind of stability. Astronomers recently detected signs of possible magnetic fields around some of these worlds. That is important, because magnetic fields can shield a planet from cosmic radiation. Earth has one, and it protects us from solar, wind, and space particles. Without it, life as we know it might not exist. So a magnetic rogue planet might shelter life better than one without. Some planets may even carry relic atmospheres, thin veils of hydrogen or methane, clinging to the surface despite the cold. Under the right conditions, these atmospheres might trap just enough heat to keep things interesting. On one world called CFB, astronomers believe it might have a young age and a low mass. Let us call it Little Foggy. Little Foggy was found drifting without a parent star, just 100 light-years from Earth. Its youth makes it warm and cloudy. Its clouds could be made of silicates, like tiny floating grains of rock. That gives it a dusty red hue, barely visible in infrared. Little Foggy's temperature might be about 400 degrees Celsius, which is hot, but cooler than most stars. Still, for a rogue world that is warm enough for thick clouds, warm enough for weather, Little Foggy may be a gas planet, much like a miniature version of Saturn, but without rings and with no nearby light. Imagine standing there, looking into a thick, ruby sky. No night, just soft reddish glow all around. No shadows, only stillness. The silence of a planet with no orbit to trace, no seasons, just an endless no. As we drift past Little Foggy, we realize how diverse these wanderers can be. They are not just frozen rocks. Some are hot, some are stormy, some may have oceans, and some, just maybe, have company. One planet called Ogur, E2016, BLG1928, was discovered by accident. Let us call it the quiet dot. The quiet dot is the smallest rogue planet ever found, roughly the size of Mars. It was discovered using gravitational which watches for the brief bending of starlight caused by a passing planet. The quiet dot passed in front of a distant star and warped the light just enough to be noticed. For a few hours, it cast its signature across the cosmos, then vanished again into silence. That is the only sign we have that the quiet dot exists. No glow, no light, only the brief memory of a bent starlight beam. This is the challenge with rogue planets. They leave few clues, but even one hint can open up entire new ideas about how planets form and live. Every rogue world we discover makes our universe feel bigger, stranger, and more alive. As we pass deeper into the velvet dark, chasing echoes of planets untethered and dreams unspoken, the way we detect rogue planets is still evolving. They do not emit light like stars, and they do not reflect light from a nearby sun, so they must be found by how they affect other objects, like bending light from background stars. This method is called gravitational microscopy. It requires watching millions of stars over time, and hoping a planet happens to pass in front of one. That is why rogue planets are so elusive. They do not want to be seen. They travel through the cosmos in secrecy. But sometimes, just sometimes, we catch a glimpse. Some rogue planets might even start out in regular orbits. Then something disturbs them. Maybe a nearby planet grows too big and kicks the smaller one out. Maybe a passing star jostles a fragile orbit. Maybe two stars compete over custody and the planet gets thrown away. Once ejected, the planet becomes a rogue, and once a rogue, it is free, no longer bound to any system. It does not orbit anything. It floats endlessly, like a message in a bottle, cast into a cosmic ocean. Over time, many such planets may gather in the galaxy. One recent estimate suggests there could be more rogue planets than stars. That means our galaxy may be filled with unseen wanderers, more planets drifting alone than ones orbiting stars. It is a beautiful, eerie thought. The Milky Way might be one giant planetary playground, but the lights are turned off, and the swings creak in the dark. In the constellation Sagittarius, astronomers found several rogue candidates using powerful infrared telescopes. These instruments can sense heat instead of light, perfect for spotting warm, young planets. One such planet, called PSOJ 318.5-22, was discovered in 2013. Let us call it Lava Nap. Lava Nap is about 6 times the mass of Jupiter. It glows slightly from its own heat, even though it has no star. That glow makes it easier to spot. Its temperature is around 800 degrees Celsius, so despite the dark, Lava Nap is not frozen. It is still cooling from its birth. Astronomers believe it is only about 12 million years old, practically an infant. Cosmically speaking, it is a gas giant, probably with thick, stormy clouds. Imagine the sound of wind there, a wind that never changes direction, because there is no day or night, only rotation and time. It might have lightning storms like Jupiter, but without sunlight, there is no thunder to hear, only distant flashes of light inside a storm that never ends. No sunrise, no sunset, only weather. Forever weather. Now imagine drifting over Lava Nap in a silent glider, the clouds glowing beneath, like amber waves on a midnight ocean. There is no need to rush. There is nowhere to go. That is the lesson of rogue planets. They are not in a hurry. They have no orbit to keep. They simply exist. And sometimes that is enough. One of the strangest ideas about rogue planets is this. Some might harbor subsurface oceans, even without sunlight. If they have thick enough atmospheres or radioactive heat deep inside, then liquid water could exist beneath an icy shell. just like on some moons in our solar system. Like Europa, Enceladus is super intriguing, just like Europa, with its icy surface hiding some amazing secrets. This makes rogue planets surprisingly interesting when we talk about life, because they might offer stable environments, shielded from cosmic radiation, and protected from space debris. The heat from radioactive decay in the core could keep water liquid for billions of years. Long enough, perhaps, for life to emerge. Not life like ours, but life built in total darkness, evolving by geothermal light instead of sunlight. On Earth, deep-sea creatures live near volcanic vents. They thrive without the sun, so perhaps rogue planets host similar life. In oceans no one has seen, beneath ice thicker than the tallest mountain. This kind of life might be microbial, or it might be strange and complex, swimming through pitch-black oceans, guided only by heat, chemistry, and instinct. And since rogue planets could outnumber stars, this type of dark life might be very common, which is a funny thought, because we always assume life needs light. But the universe does not care what we assume. It just keeps surprising us. Some researchers call these world Steppenwolf planets, after the lone wolf of the tundra, wandering alone, yet full of inner warmth. Steppenwolf planets are not theoretical anymore. We may have already found a few, though proving they host life is another story. Still, they stretch the imagination. They remind us that the cosmos has many ways to build a world, some loud and bright, others quiet and cold, but all equally valid. If a rogue planet passed near our solar system, we might spot it by how it nudges objects like comets, or by its faint infrared heat. Some theories suggest that long ago, our own solar system might have stolen a planet from interstellar space, or maybe it lost one. Some think there could be a hidden planet far beyond Pluto, not bound tightly to our sun, but moving on a strange elongated path. This is sometimes called Planet 9, but no one has seen it yet. It could be a captured rogue, or an original member cast away. If true, it might be 10 times heavier than Earth, an orbit far beyond Neptune. One loop might take 20,000 years, so we have barely blinked since it last passed near us. Whether it exists or not, the search continues, because the story of planets is far from finished. Each one tells a chapter, and rogue planets write the strangest ones, with no stars to bind them, no warmth to guide them, and no rules to follow. They are planetary poems, floating free, waiting for someone to notice, even if that someone is you, listening quietly, drifting softly into sleep. Some rogue planets might not be so lonely after all. There is a chance that some of them have moons, tiny companions bound by gravity, following faithfully through the dark. Even more curious is the idea that some of these moons could also be habitable. Their relationship with the rogue planet could generate tidal forces. Just like Jupiter's pull heats up Europa, this heat might keep a moon's inner ocean liquid. Even without any sunlight, these gravitational interactions are a hidden source of warmth, invisible but powerful, and they work in total darkness. This kind of energy is called tidal heating. It stretches and squeezes the moon's interior, generating friction and heat. So even in a starless system, movement alone can keep a world alive. Some simulations suggest that if the conditions are right, a rogue planet with a massive moon could stay warm for billions of years, enough for life to form, possibly even evolve. Imagine a giant, icy world with a thick atmosphere, its surface swept by methane winds, and orbiting it, a glowing moon with frozen mountains and deep, dark oceans. these moons might see their parent planet rise in the sky, a huge, looming mass, bright with reflected starlight from distant galaxies, and perhaps, occasionally, they see bursts of light from supernova, like cosmic flashlights blinking across the sky. These fleeting lights might be the only clue they ever had that stars exist, that somewhere, far away, there is warmth, but they remain in their own orbit, unchanged, alone, together. Scientists have found rogue planets by using gravitational microlens. That is when a planet's gravity bends the light of a distant star, creating a brief, brightening effect. This method does not require the planet to orbit a star, so it works well for finding one. In 2021, astronomers discovered what might be one of the smallest rogue planets ever seen. It may be about the size of Mars, and it might not even be part of any system, just alone in the dark, like a pebble tossed into a quiet lake. Another discovery was made in the Milky Way's central bulge. Thousands of potential rogue planets drifting between stars, possibly ejected during violent planetary rearrangements, just like cosmic luggage that no one claimed. There is a quiet sadness to this idea, but also something poetic, because despite being forgotten by their stars, they still shine, faintly, in their own way. Some astronomers think that our galaxy might be filled with billions of these objects, perhaps even more than there are stars. That means most planets might not be orbiting anything at all. They are the ultimate loners of the universe, and yet, despite their solitude, they hold stories, histories, in fact, clues to planetary formation. Each one could reveal something about the chaos of solar systems and the balance of gravity. Some of them might be from binary star systems, others from triple star systems, or from stars that no longer exist. They are survivors of stellar drama, of gravitational breakups and cosmic betrayals. But here they are, still rolling through the galaxy, cold, patient, just waiting to be found. Even in darkness, the universe keeps its secrets warm and waiting. Some scientists believe that certain rogue planets might have thick, insulating atmospheres. These atmospheres could trap geothermal heat, creating a blanket against the cold of deep space. On Earth, geothermal heat comes from radioactive decay and residual heat from our planet's formation. Rogue planets may generate heat the same way. Even without a sun, their cores can stay hot, and their atmospheres may trap that warmth. This could maintain surface temperatures high enough for liquid water to exist beneath the surface, possibly in deep, underground oceans, shielded from the vacuum of space by thick ice crusts, much like Jupiter's moon Europa or Saturn's moon. Some rogue planets may even resemble Earth in size and density, which would help them retain heat for longer. In theory, life could exist in these subsurface oceans, feeding off minerals and chemical gradients, as life does near hydrothermal vents in Earth's deep ocean. Those vents do not require sunlight, only pressure, minerals, and warmth. That makes them a promising analog. Life on a rogue planet would likely evolve without any knowledge of stars. It might never develop sight, or even the concept of light. Instead, it would feel its way through a black, pressurized world, sensing heat and vibration, moving slowly, gracefully, like whispers through a cave, perhaps with bioluminescent pulses for communication. Like fireflies of the deep, and the ecosystem could be stable, unchanging for eons, with no seasons, no solar flares, no sunrise or sunset, just everlasting twilight. There is a kind of peace in that, a life that never knows chaos from above, only what stirs from within. In 2021, astronomers identified a group of rogue planets in a star-forming region called the Upper Scorpius Association. This area is roughly 420 light-years away. Among these planets was a curious one with no name, only a designation. CFHTWIRF 98. Let's call it Whisper Drifter for short. Whisper Drifter is estimated to be only a few million years old, a cosmic newborn, floating without a parent star since birth. Its atmosphere contains water vapor, and possibly clouds of iron and silicon. This suggests that some rogue planets may still retain their original atmospheres, at least for a while, though the cold eventually tries to strip them away. Some planets, like Whisper Drifter, may be hot enough to glow faintly in infrared, making them visible to special telescopes, like a coal that still holds heat in the ashes. If they are young, they might even radiate enough energy to be mistaken for a small star. These are known as planetary mass brown dwarfs. Too massive to be planets. Too small to ignite like stars, but warm and glowing in their own right, blurring the line between planet and star, and drifting through space like ancient lanterns, lost but beautiful. Let us ease deeper into the velvet abyss. We follow the faint warmth of distant embers drifting through eternity. The faint glow of some rogue planets can help us understand how they formed. If they are still warm, they are likely very young, and may have only recently been ejected from their systems. Some theories suggest that young planetary systems are chaotic, with large planets shifting positions rapidly. These gravitational shuffles can fling smaller planets into space. Like marbles scattered off a cosmic table, others might form alone in clouds of gas, just as stars do, but without enough mass to ignite. This means some rogue planets were born as loners, not lost, but never tethered. Their very existence challenges the definition of a planet. Is a planet only a planet if it orbits a star, or is it defined by its size and structure? Astronomers debate this often, because rogue planets blur the lines of classification and invite us to rethink cosmic categories. In 2023, the James Webb Space Telescope studied an object named Wyzia J153429, 75 to 104,303. 3. Let's call it Wobbleboots for short. Wobbleboots is located about 40 light-years away. It is thought to be a planetary mass object without a star. It glows faintly in infrared, releasing heat from its core, and it may have clouds made of molten iron droplets. Yes, clouds of liquid metal, suspended in a thick, dark sky, blown by supersonic winds, tearing across a world without daylight. Imagine walking through that sky. The clouds would shimmer like rusted gold. The winds would howl, but you would hear nothing. Because space is silent, you would feel vibration in your suit, but not a sound. Beneath your feet might be hot rock, cooling ever so slowly, like the final breath of a forge, and above you, no sun, no moon, only stars, forever still, forever watching. It is possible that Wobbleboots was once part of a system. Perhaps it had siblings, or even moons. Now it journeys alone, an exile of gravity. There is beauty in its solitude, a quiet strength in its wandering. Each rogue planet tells a different story. Some were expelled violently, others formed alone in peaceful cradles of dust. Each carries memory in its core, and mystery in its silence. Their surfaces may be frozen, but their hearts may burn with stories, waiting for us to find them. The darkness carries a story waiting to be heard. Scientists believe there may be billions of rogue planets in our galaxy alone, possibly more than there are stars. Some estimates suggest there could be up to 2 rogue planets for every star in the Milky Way. That is a staggering number of worlds adrift. Worlds that no telescope has yet seen, each one potentially unique. Some of them may have liquid water beneath icy shells, heated by radioactive decay deep within, much like some moons in our own solar system. Europa and Enceladus, for example, if those moons had been ejected, they might still host subsurface oceans. That means life might exist even without sunlight. Life warmed by geology instead of starlight. Microbial life could evolve in warmth from within. It would never see the sky, but it might thrive in darkness. Imagine bioluminescent life glowing under ice, guiding itself through pitch-black seas, using only internal light. These worlds might be invisible to our eyes, but not to our imagination. Some researchers think we might detect rogue planets through when they pass in front of distant stars, they bend the light. This creates a brief flash, a signature of a hidden world. Like a ghost stepping between us and a candle, the light changes just enough for us to notice. That is how some of the first rogue planets were found. Tiny distortions in starlight, telling of massive objects moving in front. Each flicker a clue, each flicker a whisper from the dark. Some astronomers are building missions specifically to search for more. Future space telescopes may scan star fields, waiting for the quiet blink of a rogue planet drifting past. These instruments will have to be incredibly sensitive, because the signal is faint and fleeting, but the rewards may be tremendous. Entire catalogues of worlds without suns, each one a mystery in motion. Some might be gas giants, larger than Jupiter. Others could be rocky and Earth-sized. A few may even be icy giants like Neptune, drifting endlessly through galactic space, unseen until their gravity gives them away. The next generation of space observatories may find hundreds more, perhaps thousands. We may even find one surprisingly close, a wandering neighbor in our galactic backyard, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be understood. In 2023, a team of astronomers detected what might be the closest known rogue planet to Earth. It was found using data from the European Space Agency's Gaia mission. The planet's full name is Gaia, DR3 4373 4653 524 153 016 32. Let's call it Sneaky Pete for short. Sneaky Pete may be less than 100 light-years away. That is cosmically close. If confirmed, it would be the nearest known world without a sun. An orphaned planet hiding in plain sight, just wandering silently past our neighborhood. Its exact nature is still being studied, but it reminds us that rogue planets may be closer than we think. Sneaky Pete may not be alone. There could be others lurking just beyond our current detection limits, waiting for technology to catch up, waiting to be noticed. Some rogue planets may even retain a tiny moon. If they were flung from their systems gently enough, a moon could remain gravitationally bound, following its planet through darkness. Like two castaways holding hands in the night, that moon might reflect any faint infrared heat the planet gives off, creating a tiny glow in the cold, enough for a future telescope to detect. Astronomers hope to learn more about these possibilities with missions like the Roman Space Telescope. That mission will have incredible precision. It may uncover hundreds of rogue planets through macrelensing by watching millions of stars at once, looking for those faint, momentary flickers, each flicker a possible planet, each one a tiny miracle of chance and alignment. Even with no sun, a rogue planet may still glow faintly in infrared light, especially if it is still young and warm. Some of these might be just millions of years old, still cooling from their birth, radiating heat into the cosmos. These young planets are like coals drifting through space, not visible in visible light, but detectable with the right instruments. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope is especially good at seeing in infrared. It might one day capture light from one of these rogue worlds, allowing us to study its atmosphere. If it has one, scientists are eager to learn whether rogue planets retain atmospheres. Without a sun, they have no solar wind pressure that might help preserve their outer layers. Or, without magnetic fields, they might lose gases over time. Either way, each rogue planet is a case study in survival, a lesson in how planets endure isolation, and how they evolve far from starlight. As we drift to the close of our journey, you may still feel the quiet of those wandering worlds echoing through your imagination. Planets adrift, alone but not lost, silent travelers with no need for sunlight. Some larger than Jupiter, some only the size of Earth, all of them casting no shadow, but still full of stories, still full of mystery, still part of the same universe you and I are in tonight. Perhaps one of them is passing above you right now, invisible to the eye, but very real and very patient, waiting quietly in the dark, waiting for someone to wonder about it, waiting for you to imagine it. And now you have met rogue worlds with no suns. You have drifted past Sneaky Pete. You have floated by volcanic giants and quiet icy loners. You have imagined warmth without sunlight. You have seen storms with no lightning. You have felt the peace of a planet that has nothing to orbit, just itself, and perhaps a moon or a whisper of wind. You have floated through the coldest places in our galaxy, and you are still here, still warm, still safe, still dreaming. Let the thought of those planets rock you like waves in a starlit ocean. No traffic, no time zones, no alarms. Only the hum of gravity. Only the soft silence of interstellar snow. Only the swirling shadows of gas and dust. Let your breath fall in line with their silent orbits. Let your body feel weightless, like it belongs among the stars, because tonight it does. You have traveled far, beyond sunlit worlds, beyond glowing rings and sparkling moons, beyond what most ever imagined before falling asleep. And now it is time for sleep to find you. Like a planet with no sun, you need no light to shine. You carry your own glow, softly, steadily, quietly now, my friend. Let the story fade like starlight behind you. Let the campfire crackle gently from the faraway shore of a forgotten planet. Let the shooting stars pass without need for wishes. There is nothing more you need tonight. Just rest and peace and space to dream. I will be here again tomorrow with more stars, more stories, more wonders. But for now, drift off, float free, and let the universe hold you. Good night. Settle your shoulders against the pillow and breathe slowly. Picture a quiet campfire crackling, its sparks rising like tiny meteors toward dark skies. Our journey through the universe tonight begins from that glowing fire, lifting us above pine treetops and into cool silence. Earth curves beneath, blue and bright, then shrinks to a marble as we sail outward. We skim past pale rings of Saturn, where ice crystals glint like frost on winter grass, and continue toward darker horizons. Neptune appears at last, a distant orb dyed deep cobalt by methane that scatters red light away. Cloud-top temperatures hover near -200 degrees Celsius, far colder than any night on Antarctica, yet beneath the icy winds, Neptune releases more than twice the energy it receives from the sun, warming hidden layers. Supersonic gales roar at 2,100 kilometers per hour, fast enough to circle Earth in less than 20 hours. Dark storms, larger than our planet, drift across the atmosphere and sometimes reverse path, shedding smaller vortices like spinning leaves. Now imagine descending through swirling clouds. Pressure increases quickly, squeezing carbon atoms tighter than anvils in a blacksmith's forge. Tiny crystals begin to form, first like dust, then like sand, then like stones glistening in muted light. These diamonds fall for thousands of kilometers before dissolving into a sea of slush and liquid carbon. Laboratory lasers on Earth replicated this process, creating nanodiamonds from plastic and shock waves, confirming the theory of gemstone storms. Closer to the core, diamond rain may pile into mountains, each peak larger than Mount Everest and hidden forever. Above the clouds, faint rings circle Neptune. The Adam's ring displays 5 bright arcs named for ideals of liberty and courage, glowing like thin bracelets in twilight. A tilted magnetic field, offset halfway toward the surface, weaves auroras that dance in unexpected places across the planet. Hold that mental image. Blue haze, diamond drizzle, and emerald ribbons of charged light. Breathe in to match Neptune's 20-hour rotation. Breathe out to release earthly tension. Picture each exhale as a shining gem floating downward, carrying worries to the quiet depths. Let the hush of distant storms replace busy thoughts with calm rhythm. We linger at the edge of a dark vortex, listening to wind sing against ammonia ice crystals. Far below, internal heat stirs convection cells like slow-boiling soup on a kitchen stove. The planet's faint sunlight feels softer than dusk behind a quiet house. Your eyelids grow heavy with every gentle swirl of imagined clouds. We prepare to pause our descent and rest here, where diamonds fall unseen and winds whisper lullabies. Allow your body to sink into mattresses and blankets as profoundly as gemstones sink into Neptune's mantle. Soon we will glide deeper toward glowing layers, but for now, remain still and peaceful. Below the clouds, the pressure grows stronger than anything found naturally on Earth. Imagine an elephant balanced on your thumbnail that is less pressure than Neptune's middle layers feel. Here, temperatures reach thousands of degrees, hot enough to vaporize iron. Yet thick clouds and distance keep the heat locked away. Carbon squeezed tighter and tighter by this incredible weight, bonds into diamonds more solid than any jewel in a museum. These crystals, denser than ice or stone, fall like glittering hail into Neptune's dark interior. Some scientists believe these diamond droplets might reach the size of baseballs before they melt or dissolve. No one has ever seen them directly, but laboratory experiments and planetary models support the possibility. At such depths, water becomes something strange and exotic, superheated fluid. This water might exist as hot ice, a state that is both solid and blistering under high pressure. It helps carry electrical currents, giving Neptune one of the most complex magnetic fields in the solar system. Unlike Earth's magnetic field, Neptune's is off-center and tilted, swirling like a wandering spiral. This creates flickering auroras far from the poles, like secret fireworks glowing through thick clouds. While Earth's auroras shimmer green and pink, Neptune's glow with ghostly blues and purples. Now let your mind wander to those silent lights, dancing behind high winds and unseen rain. Above this hidden layer, clouds form from methane, ice-delicate, wispy structures floating in low gravity. The upper atmosphere glows slightly from sunlight scattered by haze, painting a dim, twilight-like scene. It is always evening here, even at noon. High cirrus clouds drift slowly across the planet's curve, untouched by time. Neptune's moon Triton, captured from the outer solar system, orbits backward, a silent observer of this cobalt world. Triton's surface reflects most of the sunlight it receives, making it one of the brightest objects in the sky. Imagine standing on Triton, watching Neptune rise slowly on the horizon larger than any moon from Earth. From this icy moon, you might see storms spin below and diamond rain fall invisibly through haze. The view would feel unreal, like looking into a dream made of sapphire and smoke. Meanwhile, on Neptune, seasons stretch for over 40 Earth years. One hemisphere basks in long summer while the other remains locked in deep, wind-chilled winter. Each shift brings new cloud bands, changing color as chemical reactions stir beneath the surface. Bright white clouds made of methane crystals drift near Neptune's equator, reflecting light like soft snow. These clouds travel faster than any on Earth, shaped by jet streams whipping around the planet's middle. Imagine the sound if any of such storms. A low, endless hum carried across skies with no solid ground to stop them. Now, picture yourself drifting inside one of these clouds, wrapped in mist, watching diamonds sparkle in the far distance. Let this image become your resting place. Let your heartbeat slow to Neptune's rhythm. 20 hours for a single spin. You feel as though time itself is stretching. No schedules, no clocks, only drifting crystals and hush. Each second passes like a flake of snow, gentle and light. Each breath feels deeper, as though drawn through chilled starlight. The deeper we go, the more pressure wraps around us. Like the weight of a heavy blanket, this pressure does not squeeze, it comforts. Your limbs sink deeper into sleep. The world of Neptune fades into gentle blur. You float in a sea of gemstone clouds and shifting light. Everything around you glows blue and silver, hushed by storms older than memory. Your mind releases tension, like rain melting into ocean. Let go. Our descent continues, passing into layers no human eye has ever seen, where hydrogen and helium swirl with mysterious trace elements. The deeper we go, the stranger the physics becomes. Pressure causes hydrogen to become metallic, conducting electricity like copper wires hidden in fog. This metallic hydrogen may help drive Neptune's shifting, unstable magnetic field. There may be vast oceans of slushy, hot carbon, quietly floating through dense, no sparkle, only mass and motion in timeless depths. Dark fluid, somewhere between liquid and solid, hiding diamond crystals within. Some scientists think these diamond layers could drift for thousands of years before sinking fully into the core. Neptune radiates more heat than it receives, as if its very bones are still cooling from creation. The atmosphere shifts in color, from pale blue to inky twilight, as we return toward higher clouds. Imagine diamonds, larger than your hand, but by gravity, chemistry, and time. No sound in the mid-atmosphere, where the diamond rain begins. Neptune's core may be a dense mix of rock, metal, and ice, an ancient relic from the birth of the solar system, stirring the mantle like a slow, some eastward, each rotating at a different speed and depth. They shimmer with imagined brilliance, painted by memory and dream, vanish and reform again, like tides in the sky, creating dark ovals and bright streaks that stretch across hemispheres. Endless cauldron, disappeared entirely and reappeared years later in a different place. Surrounding it is a mantle unlike anything on Earth, a blend of water, methane, and ammonia, squeezed into exotic states, but real. Each crystal begins as carbon compressed beyond imagination. It whispers, but nothing rushes. This is a world shaped not by sunlight. Even now, that warmth powers convection currents, only descent. Up above, it is here, invisible to eyes. The journey downward is long and silent. The deeper the diamonds fall, the hotter and denser the atmosphere becomes. Some stones may drift for hours before reaching layers warm enough to dissolve them. Others may remain intact longer, catching other falling crystals like raindrops on leaves. Imagine entire layers of atmosphere filled with falling gems, heavier than raindrops but lighter than glass. These diamonds do not sparkle in light. They reflect none, for there is almost none. Instead, let yourself drift alongside them. Each crystal is a thought falling away, a worry melting into soft silence. The winds that carry them spin in bands, slicing the atmosphere into ribbons of movement. Some bands twist westward. These bands form jet streams, far faster than any found on Earth. They carve shapes in the cloud tops. Astronomers have watched these storms form. The great dark spot, once the size of Earth, unlike Jupiter's famous red spot. Neptune's storms are short-lived, changing with the seasons. They twist and dance above layers we now pass through, deeper and deeper into the hush. The wind no longer roars here. You are surrounded by motion, but it is slow and gentle, like falling leaves on a windless autumn night. Everything is soft. Everything moves. You float alongside diamond rain, each drop falling without urgency or sound. Even your thoughts begin to slow. The need to think at all grows quiet. There is no time here, only softness, only the shimmer of pressure and heat making beauty from dust. You rest between clouds made of methane and helium, beneath a ceiling of frozen haze. The upper atmosphere begins to blur above you, dissolving into cool layers of blue fog. High above, thin methane clouds cast faint shadows onto denser layers below, like laced curtains across a dusky sky. The sunlight here is 1/900th the brightness of what Earth receives. Yet your eyes adjust to this twilight glow, painting the world in soft cobalt and steel-grey tones. Every surface here seems to absorb light rather than reflect it, like velvet pressed gently beneath your fingertips. The deeper you go, the more color disappears. Shapes begin to blend, as though the entire world has been wrapped in blue silk. This is the quietest place you have ever visited. No birds, no wind chimes, no rustling leaves, only the soft drift of carbon crystals and the steady weight of planetary gravity. Your ears listen for something, but find only the hush of imagination. Now picture something familiar. Imagine walking beneath a soft evening rain on Earth, umbrella in hand, puddles reflecting street lamps. Replace those puddles with slow rivers of glowing methane. Replace the umbrella with a transparent dome that lets you see falling diamonds curve through the air. Now step inside. This imaginary dome shelters you as we drift slowly deeper, like an elevator moving through liquid glass. You pass floating crystal fields, each one shaped like flakes, shards, or jagged stones, depending on how they formed. In this dreamlike silence, even the weight of your body feels lighter, like your bones are filled with clouds. Outside the dome, pressure would flatten you instantly, but inside, all is gentle, all is calm. You notice layers of fog shifting, moving past you like a lazy tide, carrying whispers of ancient chemistry. This atmosphere contains traces of ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, and hydrocarbons, mixing into ever-changing tapestries of scent and light. Though no human nose could smell it, researchers suspect it might smell faintly like rotten eggs, but in our story tonight, it smells only of memory of candle smoke, rain-washed sidewalks, and distant pine forests. Let this imagined aroma carry you deeper into sleep. Let your body fall into the rhythm of Neptune's winds, its spin, its patience. Think of how long these storms have lasted, longer than most civilizations, longer than most rivers on Earth. We are not visitors here. We are dreamers. And in this dream, we float alongside discoveries made by telescopes and space probes, stitched together by wonder. Neptune's first visit by spacecraft occurred in 1989, when the Voyager 2 mission sent back images of rings, moons, and storms. That spacecraft took 12 years to arrive after launch. No one has returned since. Yet here you are, in thought and imagination, sailing where no one has stood. Triton, Neptune's largest moon, once orbited the Sun on its own. Captured by Neptune's gravity long ago, it now spirals slowly inward and may one day be torn apart. Its icy surface has geysers that erupt nitrogen gas, casting shadows across frozen plains. One hemisphere's smooth, the other rugged, telling stories written in craters and fractures. And as Neptune rotates beneath you, that moon appears to dance against the horizon, always turning the wrong way. Moons on Earth rise in the east and set in the west, but Triton moves backward, a stubborn traveler in a quiet sky. Let this motion rock you into stillness. As Triton circles, you breathe in. As diamond rain falls, you breathe out. As Neptune turns, you sleep. Imagine now that you are holding one of Neptune's diamonds in your hand. It is cool to the touch, heavier than expected, and completely flawless. On Earth, diamonds take millions of years to form beneath thick layers of rock. On Neptune, they form in silence, beneath swirling clouds, shaped not by time, but by pressure alone. No miner will ever dig these stones. They are born and lost again, in a place no foot has touched. You turn the diamond slowly in your fingers, but it reflects no light. There is none here to catch. Instead, it hums softly in your imagination, a note so low it feels more like breath than sound. The atmosphere surrounds you like warm water, dense and gentle. You drift lower once more, this time past invisible bands of gas that slowly shift from blue to violet. Neptune's winds push you softly sideways, like sleep tugging at the edges of your thoughts. Above, layers of clouds slide like slow waves across the sky. Below, the diamonds continue their long descent. Some will melt before reaching the core. Others may survive for centuries, building pressure at the base of the atmosphere. No one knows what happens next. Perhaps they rest on the mantle like lost coins at the bottom of a wishing fountain. Perhaps they melt and rise again, like thoughts forgotten and then remembered. You drift past columns of rising gas, shaped by heat and convection, each one taller than the tallest storm ever seen on Earth. They move so slowly, you can barely tell they are moving at all. But time here is different. Neptune's day lasts 16 hours. Its year lasts 165 Earth years. Seasons pass slower than lifetimes. A single winter on Neptune can last for over 40 Earth years. You think of the snow from your childhood and wonder what a winter storm on Neptune might feel like. Would it be silent? Would it fall as diamonds instead of flakes? Would it ever end? You picture a child on Neptune, standing beneath a crystal sky, catching diamonds on outstretched gloves. You smile. It is an impossible thought, but still it lingers. Even the coldest worlds can spark warm imaginings. Neptune's name comes from the Roman god of the sea. It is fitting. This world feels like an endless ocean of air and storm, unbroken by shore or anchor. The deeper you go, the more it feels like water. Not water you can drink, but a dense fluid made of chemicals, currents, and memory. You float through it, slowly turning, your thoughts dissolving like sugar in tea. Above, the last rays of sunlight fade behind frozen clouds. Below, the weight of atmosphere thickens, wrapping you in comfort. You are not falling. You are floating. You are not watching. You are dreaming. Let go of your thoughts. Let them drift down like diamonds. Let sleep take you softly. The crystals falling through the sky have edges softened by heat and time. Some are sharp, like shattered glass. Others are rounded, like polished stones left in the tide. Each one reflects Neptune's slow heartbeat. Their descent is quiet and steady. If you could hold one to your ear, it might sound like wind moving through tall grass. You drift now through bands of methane and hydrogen, each layer thicker than the last. Above you, The world grows colder. Below you, the warmth of Neptune's core begins to rise. Even here, in this hushed place, the chemistry continues to shift. Under immense pressure, methane can split into hydrogen and carbon. That carbon hardens into diamonds, beginning the cycle again. The air here holds more secrets than starlight. You pass bubbles of trapped gas, swirling upward like lanterns released into the sky. Each one holds a memory of formation, a trace of the ancient cloud that gave birth to the planet 4 billion years ago. Neptune formed far from the sun, in a region where ice and gas were more plentiful than rock. Its mass is 17 times that of Earth, yet it has no solid surface. It is made entirely of gas and fluid, layered like dreams. Neptune may once have traded places with Uranus, shifting orbits in the early chaos of the solar system. Its distance from the sun means it takes over a century to complete one full loop. But even at that distance, its atmosphere remains active. Fierce winds blow across its face at over 1,200 miles per hour. These are the fastest winds in the solar system. They carry clouds of methane and ice in great arcs around the planet's belly. Yet from inside, the motion feels gentle. You are cradled in a current that never breaks. You drift past sheets of glowing haze that pulse with electric light. These auroras are different from Earth's. More scattered, more mysterious, they shimmer in unexpected places, not tied to magnetic poles. Scientists still do not fully understand them, but here, in our dream, they look like long curtains of violet and green, trailing upward into the dark. You reach out to touch one, and your hand passes through it like fog. No heat, no sound, just light. Above you, the last diamonds flicker out of view. They fall beyond your reach, now into layers deeper than dream. You feel them still, falling endlessly. The sky above is darker now, closer to indigo. Clouds have thickened into a slow, swirling ceiling. You feel wrapped inside a storm that sings no song, that rumbles no thunder. It only waits and breathes. Your own breath slows to match it. You inhale, the clouds inhale. You exhale, the diamonds descend. Everything follows rhythm. Everything obeys gravity, pressure, and calm. You are drifting now. Not down, not up, just drifting, surrounded by a silence so wide it becomes your entire world. Your body feels as though it has no weight at all. It hovers gently in the air, suspended between layers of ancient chemistry. The deeper atmosphere presses in, but inside your protective dream, it is only warmth and quiet. You are gliding through clouds made of methane ice, laced with hints of sulfur and ammonia. Each cloud layer is miles thick and stretches farther than most countries on Earth. You pass through them slowly, like a diver slipping through silk curtains. The atmosphere around you glows a faint lavender, deepening toward violet in the distance. No sharp lines exist, here only gradients of gas and time. Neptune's core, still far below, glows faintly with residual heat. Its warmth rises through convection, creating rolling columns of motion thousands of miles tall. You drift alongside one now, It moves like a river in slow motion, carrying heat and materials upward, forming the seeds of future clouds. This circulation feeds storms that last years, some even decades. Each storm leaves a fingerprint in the atmosphere, a swirling dark oval, a band of cold, a ripple in the cloud tops. There are no solid landmarks, only changing textures of gas and pressure, but you feel no need for maps. Everywhere is soft, everywhere is the same hush. The only sounds are imagined one's your breath, the shimmer of pressure, the memory of falling diamonds. You have been traveling for what feels like hours, though time has slowed and pooled like liquid around you. Your senses adjust to the rhythm of Neptune. Even your thoughts begin to thin and scatter like mist in early morning light. A shape appears far off, a hazy band of light, curling like ribbon across the atmosphere. This is Neptune's ring system, faint and rarely seen, but real. The farthest out has bright clumps, called arcs, that remain strangely fixed in place. It is made mostly of dust, and arcs of dark particles that reflect almost no light. 5 primary rings circle the planet, named after astronomers who studied Neptune. The Adam's ring. Unlike Saturn's luminous rings, Neptune's are delicate and ghostly. Their faint presence reminds you how much of the universe is invisible, not hidden, but quiet, not gone, but waiting. You drift closer, and specks of dust float past your field of view. Each one is a fragment, likely formed from moons shattered by ancient impacts. You imagine holding one, smaller than a pebble, older than any fossil on Earth. That grain of dust has circled Neptune for longer than recorded history. Let that age settle gently into your thoughts. You are surrounded by the memory of collisions, gravity, and time. A soft hum fills the space around you, whether imagined or real. The dust glows slightly, illuminated not by sunlight, but by friction, motion, and thought. It curls around you, moving with your breath. You close your eyes and let it pass. The dust thins out around you, fading into the vast violet atmosphere. Behind you, Neptune's ghostly rings stretch across the horizon, thin and delicate like pencil lines in the sky. Ahead, the blue expanse darkens into a serene ocean of air, deeper and calmer than before. The wind is nearly still here. The clouds drift slower, like paint spreading through water. You are approaching the deepest visible layers of the atmosphere, where pressure begins to compress the gas into strange new forms. Here, hydrogen starts behaving like a liquid. Some scientists believe that far beneath the surface, hydrogen could even take on metallic properties. This means it might conduct electricity like copper or silver. It is a world of exotic physics rules, bent by immense pressure and slow time, dense enough to blur your thoughts and wrap your limbs in velvet weight. The idea of metallic hydrogen once seemed like fiction, invisible honey, but now you glide through the edge of where it might become real. You are moving through fluid air. It feels like drifting through warm. Even light seems to hesitate here. Only faint streaks of energy pulse through the haze, the last signs of convection from far below. You remember that Neptune gives off more heat than it receives from the sun. It radiates its own energy, like an ember glowing under frost. No one knows exactly why. Some believe it is leftover warmth from the planet's formation. Others think that helium might slowly rain through the interior, releasing heat as it falls. Neptune still spins. It is a slow furnace, a quiet one, but it keeps this world alive. Without sunlight, it simply breathes, still stirs, still sings. You begin to feel that quiet fire, like a distant heartbeat. It does not burn. Its warmth reaches your skin in waves. It reminds you of sitting beside a fireplace in winter, your eyes heavy, your limbs tucked beneath a blanket. You float through a dense blue mist that glows faintly around the edges, like moonlight through clouds. This mist holds microscopic crystals of methane ice. Each one is smaller than a grain of salt. They sparkle only when touched by the weakest hints of reflected sunlight. You float past them now, trailing your fingers through the mist like water. It parts around you, then closes again, soft as breath. But the boundary where the gas becomes more fluid than air, but flowing deeper still. You pass through zones of high pressure that curve sound and slow motion. A whisper here would travel much faster than on Earth. But in your dream there are no whispers, only thought, only the quiet rhythm of drifting deeper. You begin to sense that you are nearing the base of Neptune's atmosphere, not the core, not the end, where movement is not drifting, where storms become slow sculptures of heat and chemistry. Here, even gravity feels thicker. You feel yourself sink slightly, the way you would into a warm bath. It is not heavy, it is grounding. You are being held. Your body floats just above the threshold, where gas begins to behave like liquid. There is no sudden change, only a gradual thickening of sensation. The air becomes denser, more resistant to movement, like drifting through warm oil. Here, sound would move faster than a bullet, but there is no sound, only calm. Only stillness. The atmosphere is so compressed. It may be forming strange materials never seen on Earth. One of those materials might be superionic water. This is a form of water that behaves like both a solid and a liquid at once. It is believed to exist in a black, slushy state, electrically conductive, dense, and hot. You cannot see it here, but the idea alone sparks quiet. Imagine water that conducts electricity, yet holds its shape like ice. It would shimmer under pressure, flowing without moving. You pass deeper still. Neptune's magnetic field becomes more chaotic the further you descend. Unlike Earth's neat, symmetrical field, Neptune's is tilted and lopsided. Its source is likely hidden in a thin shell of conductive fluid. This creates strange auroras that drift in unexpected places, far from the poles. Some flash near the equator, others flicker in the shadows of its rings. You feel this magnetic field brushing across your skin, like gentle static or the memory of wind. It pulls at the edges of your thoughts. It hums against your breath. You glide into a pocket of air so thick it carries the scent of chemistry, a mix of hydrogen, helium, and trace compounds, all compressed into a subtle perfume of the universe. You breathe it in, and your lungs fill with imagined peace. You begin to sense that you are not sinking anymore. You are hovering in equilibrium, buoyant in this vast, invisible ocean. Far below, Neptune's core rests under crushing weight. It is likely solid, or at least hardened by pressure. It may be surrounded by a mantle of exotic fluids, ammonia, water, and methane mixed into an otherworldly slush. No probe has reached this deep. No light escapes from here, but in your dream, you see it. A dark, shimmering sphere wrapped in clouds and heat. It pulses gently with internal warmth, glowing like an ember trapped in ice. You pause. You drift. You wait. Every part of you is now tuned to Neptune's rhythm. The high winds are gone. The diamonds are far above. Here, there is only pressure and rest. Your eyes close without effort. Your thoughts fade without struggle. The silence feels like gravity made soft. You are suspended in a chamber of pressure that has existed for billions of years. Nothing stirs here unless Neptune commands it. No storms reach this deep. No wind whistles through these layers. Only heat, only silence, only memory. The weight above you presses down with grace, not force. It has shaped the gases into fluid layers that ripple like the skin of a sleeping whale. You feel the movement before you see it. A slow, rising, pulse-like Neptune exhaling. This is convection from the inner core, a slow, warm breath that moves through the atmosphere like a sigh from the planet itself. You rise slightly, caught in its upward drift. The temperature around you increases by just a few degrees. Even that shift feels enormous here. Your skin tingles, though you feel no danger. Everything is calm. Everything is wrapped in chemistry. Neptune's interior may contain more water than Earth's oceans combined. Not liquid water as we know it, but high-pressure, high-temperature fluids that behave in unfamiliar ways. In some regions, this water may form layers that do not mix like oil floating over syrup. These stratified oceans remain undisturbed for eons. You float between them now, riding the invisible boundary like a feather balanced on breath. The idea that water could exist in such forms brings a quiet joy. Water is the memory keeper of the universe. Where it is found, life may someday follow, but no life is known to exist here. Only possibility. Only ingredients, only time. You drift toward another layer. Here, scientists believe diamonds are still falling, not as showers now, but as rivers dense, silent, continuous. They fall in threads through superheated fluid, melting as they descend. The heat converts them back into carbon, completing the cycle. It is a rain that makes no sound and leaves no trace. You imagine catching one as it passes. It flickers once in your hand, then vanishes into light. Each one is a breath, a shimmer, a passing moment. Some scientists believe this diamond rain generates friction and heat. It may help explain why Neptune glows from within. You are surrounded by this possibility, as if drifting through thought itself. Every theory, every idea floats beside you like fireflies in a cave. You reach out and they scatter, not because they fear you, but because they were never meant to stay still. You have seen more of Neptune than any human ever has. Yet you still feel weightless, still feel small, still feel calm. You hover in the twilight of Neptune's soul. The space around you no longer feels like a planet. It feels like a dream shaped by gas, chemistry, and gravity. A gentle vibration moves through the layer beneath you. It is not sound, but a kind of silent rhythm. Perhaps it is the planet's core turning, or the ghost of old collisions echoing through its structure. Far above, the sunlight fades completely. Only the planet's own warmth remains. It glows in the deep with a soft light, too faint for eyes, but strong enough for imagination. You follow a column of rising warmth that twists slowly, like smoke in reverse. Inside it, particles of methane break apart. Carbon atoms are released and crushed by pressure. This begins the diamond rain. It does not sparkle, it does not shine. It simply falls quiet, dense, and beautiful. You imagine each one beginning as a gas molecule, transformed by gravity into a jewel. Not for beauty, not for wealth, but simply because that is what the planet asks of it. You drift alongside these invisible drops. They pass through you like memories. This is Neptune's cycle. Methane gas becomes carbon, carbon becomes diamond, diamond becomes vapor, a circle of matter and motion, repeating endlessly beneath clouds. You feel the serenity of that loop settle into your thoughts. The idea that things may fall apart and still return again, that every drop becomes something new. Above you, lightning sometimes flashes in the upper layers. You do not see it from here, but you remember the stories. On Neptune, lightning can stretch farther than skyscrapers. It flickers through methane clouds with more force than anything on Earth. These bolts crackle through hydrogen, splitting molecules and shaping chemistry. They are fleeting, but they sculpt the sky like chisel marks in stone. Some believe these storms help trigger the diamond rain. Lightning tears apart methane, freeing carbon atoms. Those atoms begin the long fall to the depths. You picture each strike as a signal, a beginning. You wonder how long a diamond drop takes to fall from the clouds to the core. Scientists estimate that it could take thousands of years. One drop, one journey. So slow, so silent, so meaningful. It reminds you that even the smallest transformation is sacred. You move gently beside the falling diamonds, each one older than any tree on earth. They are not like diamonds found in rings or crowns. They are heavier, denser, and without flaw. Here they fall without noise, and without witness. Where the heat is so great they melt into carbon fluid. Only you are present in this dream. The diamonds fall faster now, drawn toward the mysterious core of Neptune. Some may reach the inner mantle, others may accumulate in layers, forming seas of compressed crystals. Imagine a hidden lake of diamonds, still and silent, beneath clouds of gas. No light reaches here, but in your mind the scene glows softly. The air is thicker. It holds you in place like warm, invisible hands. Even gravity feels patient. No motion is hurried, no thought is rushed. Here you begin to wonder what time means in such a place. Neptune takes 164 Earth years to orbit the Sun just once. One Neptunian year lasts longer than a human lifetime. You drift through the days of a single season that might outlive every person you know. You begin to feel timeless, detached, whole. You look upward, though you see nothing. Still, you remember that 14 known moons orbit Neptune. The largest is Triton. Triton moves in the opposite direction of Neptune's rotation. This suggests that it was captured, not born here. A stranger in orbit, it may once have been a dwarf planet, like Pluto. Now it spins backward through Neptune's sky, leaking gas from its icy crust. Triton has geysers that shoot nitrogen into space. This frozen moon dances while the planet below sleeps, and yet both are part of the same family, bound by gravity, bound by quiet. You'll think about how even distant objects can become connected. A planet and a captured moon, a diamond and a storm. You and the stars. This thought stays with you as you begin to rise. The pressure lessens slightly. You are no longer sinking. Now you are ascending through layers that feel like memory and mist. Every molecule that touches you carries the age of the cosmos. Some gases here have not changed since the solar system was born. They whisper stories as you pass, about formation, about time, about waiting. You continue drifting upward, following the invisible current of internal heat rising from Neptune's core. Around you, the atmosphere becomes less dense. It feels like slipping out of deep water and into a warm cloud. Tiny crystals of methane ice begin to appear again. They drift lazily around you, catching the faintest trace of Neptune's internal glow. Each crystal is perfectly shaped, yet completely invisible to the human eye. Only here, in this dream, do they shimmer. The higher you float, the cooler it becomes. Temperatures drop to levels colder than anything naturally found on Earth. Here, it can reach -330 degrees Fahrenheit. And yet, you feel no chill. Only comfort. Only calm. You think again of the planet's magnetic field. It rotates far faster than the visible clouds. This means the invisible parts of Neptune spin differently than the parts you can see. That difference creates turbulence. It shapes the weather. It sculpts the storms. It stirs the chemistry. It whispers through hydrogen and helium, shifting particles into patterns only Neptune knows. You pass through one such pattern now. It is shaped like a spiral, not a storm, not a cloud, something softer. It twists around you like a ribbon in slow motion. Inside this ribbon, particles of ammonia trace lazy circles. This gas plays a small role in Neptune's atmosphere, but a powerful one in its scent and structure. Ammonia carries a sharp, electric odor on Earth. Here, it smells of nothing. The pressure is too low, the particles too cold. They drift like memory. Higher still, faint winds return. Not the screaming storms from the outer layers. These winds are soft. They brush against your face like a sigh. Some move faster than sound, but they do not rush you. They carry you gently upward, like hands underwater. As you rise, the blue deepens. Neptune's signature hue becomes clearer again. This planet's color comes largely from methane, which absorbs red light and reflects blue. Even from Earth, This world glows in sapphire, but here, inside the atmosphere, the blue surrounds you. It glows softly at the edges. It pulses faintly with heat. You are inside a jewel, a gem larger than all the oceans on earth. And it is quiet, still, safe. You pass through a layer of shimmering methane clouds. These clouds form bands across Neptune, circling the planet like ribbons spun from vapor. Each band moves at a different speed. This creates powerful jet streams that can reach over 1,000 miles per hour. No other planet in this solar system has winds this strong, yet, inside the jet stream, it feels calm. The motion is steady, like a train passing through fog. You drift with the flow, your body light and motionless. The air around you carries traces of hydrogen, helium, and icy compounds. Each breathless moment brings new particles into your path. Some are ancient. Some were born from storms just days ago. All of them tell stories. Stories of pressure, of lightning, of diamond rain far below. You are passing now into Neptune's tropopause. This is the boundary between the lower atmosphere and the upper clouds. Here, the temperature is cold. You are wrapped in a silence so deep it feels like velvet. You hover near a region scientists call the Great Dark Spot. This is a storm, massive, swirling vortex, once large enough to hold Earth itself. It spins in reverse, moving against the planet's usual rotation. From above, it appears as a shadow beneath the clouds. From within, it feels like a whirlpool made of sky. You float near its edge, pulled gently by pressure and wind. Inside, the air spins faster. Faster, but you stay just outside, safe in the stillness. This storm has no thunder, no lightning, only motion, like a giant turning slowly in its sleep. The great dark spot has formed and vanished several times since it was first discovered. It is a reminder that even enormous forces can disappear without warning, that everything, even storms, has a beginning and an end. You move past it now, toward the equator. Here, Neptune's winds are fastest, but again they do not disturb you. You are cradled in a small eddy of calm air, drifting above the chaos. You begin to rise through the haze, moving closer to the edge of Neptune's atmosphere. The air grows thinner, the clouds fade, and then, for the first time since you began your journey, light appears. Starlight, distant, delicate. It reaches you through a curtain of gas. You can see the curve of Neptune's horizon now. It glows with a faint blue halo. You are rising out of the planet's shadow, into the quiet of space. You float now above Neptune's shimmering blue curve. Space stretches endlessly beyond you. Stars twinkle softly, distant and welcoming. The silence of the cosmos surrounds you like a warm blanket. You feel the gentle pulse of the universe, steady and slow. A comet passes far away, tracing a silver path through the dark. Its tail glows faintly, sparkling like scattered diamonds. You watch as it moves, calm and graceful. The cold light of distant suns warms your spirit. You begin to feel lighter still, as if your body is made of stardust. The diamond rain you witnessed below has transformed into a memory, a secret share between you and the universe. You smile softly, feeling connected to the endless sky. No sound disturbs this moment. Only the gentle hum of the cosmos, like a lullaby. You realize that every drop of diamond, every storm, every whisper of wind is part of a greater story. A story of time, transformation, and infinite possibility. Your breath slows. Your thoughts soften. You are ready to rest. The stars twinkle one last time before fading into a gentle glow. Your mind drifts with a calm rhythm of space itself. A campfire crackles softly nearby, its warmth comforting and steady. Shooting stars streak silently across the sky, bright and fleeting. They remind you to cherish every moment, no matter how brief. You feel safe. You feel whole. You feel ready for sleep. As your eyelids grow heavy, know that this quiet journey remains with you. A diamond shower of calm, beauty, and wonder. Good night, dear traveler. May your dreams be filled with stars. And when you wake, may you carry the peace of Neptune's night in your heart.